Hello, and welcome to Podcast for English. My name is Linda. I'm really happy you're here today. This channel is for people who want to learn English in a simple and natural way. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to speak fast. You don't need to understand every word. You only need to listen. You can listen while you rest. You can listen while you work. You can listen while you live your daily life. Take a deep breath, relax your body, clear your mind. Now, let's begin today's English lesson together. In today's podcast, we are talking about something many English learners feel: nervousness. Today's topic is this: why English makes you nervous and how to fix it. If English makes you feel nervous, there is nothing wrong with you. This feeling is very common. You may feel nervous before speaking. You may feel nervous when listening. You may feel nervous when someone speaks fast. This nervousness does not mean you are bad at English. It does not mean you lack ability. It means your brain feels unsafe. Language is closely connected to emotion. When you use English, you feel exposed. People can hear you. People can judge you. People can misunderstand you. This feeling creates tension. Tension creates nervousness. In this episode, we will talk about why this nervous feeling appears, what really causes it, and how to calm your mind when using English. You do not need to push yourself. You do not need to be brave. You need to understand what is happening inside you. Because when you understand the reason for nervousness, the fear becomes smaller. And when fear becomes smaller, English becomes easier. We will look at this problem slowly, calmly, without pressure, because nervousness is not your enemy. It is a signal, and signals can be understood. Once you understand them, you can change how English feels inside your body and mind. Nervousness does not come from English itself. It comes from what English represents. When you use English, you feel seen, you feel heard, you feel exposed. Exposure creates risk. Risk creates fear. This fear is not logical. It is emotional. Your brain is trying to protect you. It asks, what if I make a mistake? What if they laugh? What if they do not understand me? These questions appear automatically. You do not choose them. The brain connects language with identity. When you speak English, you are not just sharing words, you are sharing yourself. This feels personal. Personal situations create nervousness. Another cause is past experience. Maybe someone corrected you. Maybe someone laughed. Maybe you felt embarrassed. The brain remembers. It wants to avoid that feeling again. So it creates tension. Tension shows up as nervousness. Another reason is expectation. You expect yourself to speak well. You expect yourself to be clear. High expectations create pressure. Pressure creates fear. Fear creates silence. Nervousness also comes from speed. English often feels fast. Fast language does not give the brain time to relax. When there is no time, the brain panics. Panic creates nervousness. Another hidden cause is self-comparison. You compare yourself to native speakers. You compare yourself to fluent learners. Comparison lowers confidence. Low confidence creates fear. Fear shows up as nervousness. All these causes have one thing in common. They are about safety. Your brain does not feel safe. And when the brain does not feel safe, language becomes difficult. This is important to understand. Nervousness is not weakness, it is protection. Once you see this, you stop fighting yourself. And when you stop fighting, you can start calming. Calming the brain is the first step to fixing nervousness. And this is something you can learn to do. Fear changes the brain, not slowly, immediately. When fear appears, the brain switches mode. It stops learning. It stops exploring. It starts protecting. This is important. Fear does not mean you forgot English. Fear means your brain is busy with survival. When you feel nervous, your body reacts. Breathing becomes shallow. Muscles tighten. The heart beats faster. These signals tell the brain something is wrong. The brain responds by reducing access to language. Words feel far away. Thoughts feel blocked. This is not a language problem. It is a stress response. Fear also narrows attention. You stop seeing the whole situation. You focus on yourself, your mistakes, your accent, your grammar. This inward focus blocks communication. Speaking needs outward focus, meaning, message, connection. Fear pulls attention inward. This is why even simple sentences feel hard. Fear also affects memory. You know the words, but you cannot reach them. They are stored, but temporarily unavailable. This is common. It happens to everyone. Fear also creates urgency. You feel you must speak fast. You feel you must be correct. Urgency increases pressure. Pressure increases fear. This cycle feeds itself. Fear also teaches avoidance. After nervous moments, the brain remembers. It says, speaking English is dangerous. So next time, fear appears faster. This does not mean fear is winning. It means the brain learned the wrong signal. Fear can be retrained. But first, it must be understood. Fear is not your enemy. It is a message. The message is simple. I do not feel safe. Once you recognize this, you stop blaming yourself. You stop pushing. You start calming. Calming the brain restores access to language. When calm returns, words return, thoughts return. Fear shuts language down. Calm opens it again. This is the key to fixing nervousness. Not force, but safety. Many learners try to be perfect. They want perfect grammar. They want perfect pronunciation. They want perfect sentences. This desire feels normal, but perfection creates nervousness. When you try to be perfect, your attention changes. You stop focusing on meaning. You start focusing on mistakes. Mistakes feel dangerous. Danger creates fear. Fear creates nervousness. Perfection also slows everything down. You think too much. You check too much. You hesitate too much. Speaking needs movement. Perfection stops movement. When movement stops, flow disappears. And without flow, speaking feels hard. Another problem with perfection is pressure. You expect a lot from yourself. High expectations create stress. Stress tightens the body. A tight body cannot speak freely. Perfection also creates comparison. You compare yourself to native speakers. You compare yourself to fluent learners. Comparison lowers confidence. Low confidence increases fear. Fear feeds nervousness. Perfection also teaches silence. You think, if I cannot say it well, I should not say it. So you stay quiet. Quiet feels safer than mistakes. But silence does not build confidence. It builds fear. Perfection is not the goal of communication. Understanding is the goal. Connection is the goal. People do not need perfect English. They need clear meaning. When you allow yourself to be imperfect, pressure reduces. When pressure reduces, the brain relaxes. A relaxed brain speaks more easily. Mistakes do not break communication. Silence does. This is important. Letting go of perfection does not mean giving up. It means choosing progress over control. When you stop trying to be perfect, nervousness becomes smaller. And when nervousness becomes smaller, English becomes easier to use. Before English, there is the body. If the body is tense, the mind cannot be calm. And if the mind is not calm, English feels hard. So the first step is not language. It is calm. Calm starts with breathing. Slow breathing. Deep breathing. You breathe in slowly. You breathe out slowly. This tells the body, I am safe. When the body feels safe, the brain listens. Another way to calm the body is slowing down. You do not rush. You do not hurry to answer. You allow a pause. Pauses are not mistakes. Pauses are space. Space helps words appear. When you rush, fear increases. When you slow down, fear softens. Posture also matters. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, relax your face. A relaxed body supports relaxed speech. Another important step is intention. Before you speak, remind yourself, I am not performing. I am communicating. This simple reminder changes focus. Focus moves from yourself to meaning. Meaning is easier to share. You can also calm the mind by lowering expectations. You do not need to speak a lot. You do not need to speak perfectly. One sentence is enough. One idea is enough. This reduces pressure. Pressure creates nervousness. Reducing pressure creates calm. Another helpful practice is preparation of feeling, not words. You do not prepare sentences. You prepare calm. You accept that mistakes may happen. You accept that silence may appear. Acceptance removes fear. When the body and mind are calm, English feels lighter. Words come easier. Not because your English improved, but because the fear stepped away. Calm is not the result of speaking well. Calm is the condition that allows speaking. This is how you prepare yourself before using English. Not by forcing language, but by creating safety. Practice should not increase fear. Practice should reduce it. Many learners practice English in stressful ways. They test themselves. They judge themselves. They push themselves. This kind of practice teaches the brain that English is dangerous. We want the opposite. We want practice that feels safe. Safe practice calms the nervous system. When the nervous system is calm, learning improves. One safe way to practice is private speaking. You speak when no one is listening. You speak to yourself. You speak out loud in a quiet space. There is no judgment, no reaction. This safety allows words to come out. Another safe practice is repetition. You repeat simple sentences. You repeat what you hear. You do not create new language. You reuse familiar language. Familiar language feels safe. Safety reduces nervousness. Another helpful practice is slow response practice. You allow yourself to answer slowly. You do not rush. You pause. You breathe. You respond. This teaches the brain that time is allowed. Allowed time reduces fear. Practice also works best in short moments, not long sessions. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Short practice does not overwhelm. Overwhelm creates anxiety. Short practice creates success. Success builds confidence. Another important practice is friendly listening. You listen without trying to understand everything. You listen without testing yourself. You let English flow. This listening teaches the brain that English is not a threat. You can also practice with very simple language, basic words, basic sentences. Simple language feels controllable. Control reduces fear. Practice should feel easy enough. If it feels hard, nervousness grows. If it feels manageable, confidence grows. The goal of practice is not fluency today. The goal is calm exposure. Calm exposure rewires the brain. Over time, the brain learns something new. English is safe. And when English feels safe, nervousness fades. Slowly, naturally. This is how practice becomes a solution, not a problem. Confidence does not appear suddenly. It is built slowly, step by step. Many learners wait to feel confident before speaking, but confidence comes after action, not before. The key is choosing very small steps, steps that feel safe. You do not start with big conversations. You start with small moments. One sentence, one response, one simple idea. Each small success teaches the brain something. I survived. It was okay. Nothing bad happened. This message reduces fear. Reduced fear creates confidence. Confidence also grows from familiarity. When you repeat the same type of sentence, the brain feels prepared. Prepared brains feel safe. Safe brains speak more easily. Another important step is changing self-talk. Instead of saying, I am bad at English, you say, I am learning. Instead of saying, I failed, you say, I tried. This language matters. The brain listens to how you speak to yourself. Gentle words create gentle feelings. Harsh words create fear. Confidence also grows when you notice progress. Not big progress, small progress. You spoke one more word. You stayed in the conversation longer. You did not panic as much. These small signs are important. They show the system is working. Another step is consistency. Confidence does not grow from one good day. It grows from repeated safe experiences. Each safe experience adds a layer. Over time, these layers become strong. Confidence also needs patience. Some days, nervousness returns. This does not mean you are going backward. It means the brain is still learning. You respond with kindness, not pressure. Kindness keeps confidence alive. Rebuilding confidence is not about proving anything. It is about feeling safe enough to continue. When confidence grows, nervousness shrinks. Not completely, but enough. Enough to speak, enough to try, enough to continue, and continuing is how confidence becomes real. Nervousness does not disappear overnight. It fades, little by little. Each time you use English and nothing bad happens, the brain learns something new. It learns, this is safe. Safety is the key. When English feels safe, the body relaxes. When the body relaxes, the mind opens. When the mind opens, words appear. Not perfectly, but naturally. At first, nervousness still shows up. Your heart may beat faster. Your voice may shake. This is okay. You do not stop. You breathe. You continue. Continuation is more important than comfort. Each continuation teaches the brain that fear is not necessary. Over time, nervousness becomes quieter. It no longer controls you. It becomes a background feeling. Then it disappears faster. English starts to feel familiar. Familiar things do not create fear, they create comfort. Comfort changes everything. You listen better, you respond faster, you think less, you are present. Presence is the opposite of nervousness. Presence is where communication lives. You may still feel nervous in new situations. This is normal, but you know how to handle it now. You slow down, you breathe, you lower expectations. You remind yourself, I am safe. This reminder is powerful because the brain believes it. English stops feeling like a test. It starts feeling like a tool to connect, a tool to share, a tool to live. When nervousness fades, confidence takes its place. Not loud confidence, quiet confidence. The kind that says, I can try, and trying is enough. This is how English becomes more comfortable. Not by force, not by perfection, but by safety, patience, and gentle practice. And once English feels comfortable, learning becomes lighter. Speaking becomes possible. And progress continues naturally. You've reached the end of today's episode. Before you leave, I want you to remember one simple thing. You did something good for yourself today. You listened. You stayed. You didn't give up. And that matters. Learning English is not about being fast. It is not about being perfect. It is about showing up again and again. Some days will feel easy. Some days will feel hard. Both are normal. Progress does not always feel exciting. Sometimes it feels quiet. Sometimes you don't notice it at all. But learning is still happening. Every minute you listen, your ears are learning new sounds. Your mind is learning new patterns. Your confidence is growing, even if you cannot see it yet. You don't need to push yourself. You don't need to compare yourself to others. You are on your own path, and your pace is enough. Let English be part of your daily life. Listen while you rest. Listen while you work. Listen while you live your normal day. If this episode helped you feel calmer, more focused, or more motivated, then your time here was well spent. Come back when you can. Come back when you need a quiet space to learn. My name is Linda, and this is Podcast for English. Thank you for learning with me. Until next time, keep going and never give up. Believe in yourself, because you are stronger than you think.